Don't keep scrolling. Instead, let me tell you how Manchester City are a dirty team fouling their way to success. Or are they? So you thought Manchester City got to where they are because of pretty passing, tiki-taka and Raheem Sterling. But no, as hinted at in their game on the opening day of the season against West Ham, there seems to be a dirtier side to City, and I'm not talking about two-footed lunges and elbows to the face. No, it's a bit more cynical than that. Let me elaborate with a few statistics. See, in the season that City got 100 points, that was 17-18, they allowed their opponents an average of just 22 passes for every foul they committed against them. For context, Swansea, the cleanest team in the league that season, allowed 44 passes, about double. Liverpool were around 8, with 10 more than City. City fouled a lot. Over a third of those fouls occurred within 5 seconds of their opponents winning the ball, and on top of that, City fouled them higher up the pitch than any other team in the league, an average of 57 metres from their own goal. The strategy seems clear. Win the ball back as early as possible, and if you can't, just stop the opposition. For a long time it was Fernandinho's job to lead these disruptive tactics, and it seems like referees tended to let him get away with it. The Brazilian needed to commit an average of 8 fouls for every yellow card he received last season, whereas for context, Lucas Torreira got a yellow card for every 5 fouls, Fabinho for every 4.5 and Jorginho for every 4. City, by contrast, seemed to be allowed to get away with a lot of their shadier play. Now, to be fair to them, Pep City weren't quite as cynical in their second title-winning season as they were in their first, but that might be because they were a little bit more comfortable. In 17-18, City led for 53% of the minutes they played, whereas last season that shot up to 61%. Whilst it was of course a much closer title race, Pep's side might not have needed to foul as much as they did the season before to guarantee the 3 points. At the same time, the rest of the league seemed to be catching up to City's level of cynicism. 31% of all fouls committed last season occurred within 5 seconds of a team losing the ball, whereas it had only been 28% the season before. Now, City might be masters of the dark arts, but let's not get all sanctimonious here. Liverpool upped their game last season in more ways than one. For a start, 35% of their fouls were within those magic 5 seconds, making them the 3rd highest team for that metric, and, more tellingly, they actually overtook City for location of fouls. Last season, their fouls occurred on average 60 metres from their own goal. And there seems to be a correlation here, let's call it the stop by any means approach, of which City and Liverpool were the biggest proponents. They fouled early and conceded the fewest chances per game of anyone in the league. Coincidence? Perhaps, but you can see logic behind that approach. And whilst Fernandinho may escape punishment where his peers do not, such as Lucas Torreira and Jorginho, Liverpool have their own little devious angel. Roberto Firmino committed more fouls than anybody else in the Premier League last season without getting a yellow card. So, it's all fair game. So there you go, City are certainly not afraid to be disruptive when they lose the ball, and while they may not be dirty per se, they certainly know a certain way to defend. And Liverpool, to their credit, are wising up. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop us a like. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching.